Kingdom family, what's up? Hey everybody. Oh my gosh, I am so grateful to be here with all of you this beautiful day. And what a gift it is for us to be able to come together in power and in strength and with the ability to come together across every single divide. I'm going to jump right in today to our prayer before we jump into our session. So I'd love for you to go ahead and place your hands over the center of your chest, close your eyes, and we'll take a couple breaths today. So take a full deep breath in and a breath out, and another breath in and out. And take one more breath in and hold it. Hold it. And then exhale as you let it go. Imagine a grounding cord like roots going straight from your body down into the earth. And I'm going to guide us through a short grounding practice that I learned from Brenda Rose, who I was just with at Esalen. And this grounding practice is a really powerful practice to do to really root yourself in any moment. So what I want you to do is just stay connected to your breath and imagine a ball of light spinning in your pelvis. So your pelvis is the area kind of between your belly button and where your sits bones kind of sit on the chair or on your seat. So just right underneath your bum. And so just imagine a ball of light. It could be any color. If you're having trouble imagining a color, you can imagine a gold ball of light. And just imagine that ball of light spinning inside of you. And then take a breath in, hold it, and on the breath out, imagine sending that ball of light all the way down to the center of the earth. And just imagine that ball going down, 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 even further down through the bedrock of the earth, all the way down to the molten core of the earth. And let it be easy. If you feel yourself efforting to do this, just see what happens if you just let it happen easily without having to try. And then once that ball, that grounding cord goes all the way down to the center of the earth, you now have a cord tethering you to the center of the earth. And I want you to just imagine plucking, like a guitar string or a violin string, this cord to make sure it's nice and tight. And then from the sky, imagine another ball of light like the sun just above your head. And into that ball of light, I want you to think of and imagine any words that you need for your day today. So maybe you need presence or energy or joy or happiness or gratitude or whatever it is that you need for this particular day, based on what you have coming and where your energy's at. And imagine just calling all of that energy into this ball of light. So this ball of light's above your head. It could be as small as a marble, or it could be as big as the whole world or the universe, whatever's there. And take a breath in. And on the exhale, imagine from the bottom that sun just opens up and just showers you with all of the energy that you need. It just opens up and bathes you and soothes you. Every layer, every part of your body, all parts of your mind, your emotional system, inside and out, is bathed with this light. Maybe it's a golden light. If it's another color, that's fine. And just imagine all of this energy overcoming you. You're drenched in it, soaking it, and you have your grounding cord taking you down to the center of the earth. And then finally, imagine one little drip of that light from the sun above your head that came down over your body, one little drip dropping down as a blessing into the grounding cord, just as a blessing into the earth. And now from earth to the heavens, we are connected and dropped in right here with our body as the central channel. And just breathe a few deep, full breaths as you fill yourself up with this light of connection. God, Spirit, universe, all that is, all that ever has been, and all that ever will be, we thank you. Thank you for bringing this community together, for guiding us to this place so that we may become more connected to ourselves. And through that deeper connection to all of who we are, to our shadow and our light, our love and our fear, our faith and the things that we sometimes don't believe in, through all of that dynamic that we have happening inside of us and getting to know it, may each of us spread love throughout the world, authenticity throughout the world. May we show up as who we want to be versus who our conditioning tells us we should be. May we be beacons of possibility and connection on this planet. I'm going to be silent for just a moment now. And I want you to welcome in your own personal prayer. God, Spirit, universe, all that is, all that ever has been, and all that ever will be, we thank you. Thank you for bringing us together on this day. May we each hear the message that was ours to hear today, and may it anchor and root in our hearts so that it can blossom open and transform our lives and our spirits and our souls. So it is. Ashe, Aho, Salam, Amen, Shalom, Satnam, Awen, Om. Thank you. So it is. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, 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 welcome. I'm so grateful to be here with all of you. Hello, Andrea. I'm glad you were able to get in, and Mimi, and Raylene, and Cheryl, and Selena, and the whole family. Everybody. So how was that grounding practice for you? How was that grounding practice for you? And this is a practice that you can do anytime. Today's session, which I'm so excited to get into with you today, is on the power of self-love and confidence. The power of self-love and confidence. And what I'm going to do today, actually, which I have not done in quite some time, is I'm going to do some readings from the Book of Woke. I'm just kidding. Some readings from Stay Woke. And, I have this chapter in Stay Woke. Those of you who have my book, chapter 13 is the whole chapter on self-love and confidence with this beautiful artwork by Victoria Casanova. And Stay Woke, for those of you who don't know, is my book that helps us ground into ourselves through practices like meditation and mindfulness and many other practices that are woven in and snuck in there to help us become more awake to who it is that we really are. And so this this session today is going to be really powerful to help us wake up self-love and confidence in yourself. We're going to actually do some practices together throughout this. So it's not just going to be me talking. We're going to actually experience some practices together that will help you wake up your self-love and your confidence today, right now. Okay, so it's going to be an interactive section, and what we're going to do, or what I would like to do, is hopefully you can really have an experience with a lot of these things this evening, and use it kind of like a toolbox that helps you have practices that you can use for yourself as you move forward along in your life. So you'll know how to do them moving forward, and you can always come back to all of these recordings. One thing I want to mention to you, many of you know in previous seasons of The Kingdom, we have the Kingdom podcast, which you can find on any platform that you listen to podcasts. But we haven't put anything from this season up on the Kingdom podcast yet, but we will officially be doing that soon. So I'm just going to let you know that most all of these episodes or sessions that we've had, these last 12 or 13 episodes that we've had, are going to be going up on the Kingdom podcast soon, and I'll let you know when that happens, but I don't want to forget to let you know that. And we have several announcements that I will make at the end of the session today, because I just want to jump right in, including some live events coming up at Esalen, the Kingdom Book Club, which Mariana is hosting, Soul Study, and much more. So I will put all of that and announce all of that towards the end of our session today. So just stay tuned for all of that. All right? So let's just jump right in to the power of self-love and confidence. And Diaris, it's so good to have you here. Okay? Welcome back. So I'm going to start with a reading from the Book of Woke that is on page 214. All right, 214. So it goes like this. This is just a little personal opening to this chapter from the book for me. So it says, if you've read any part of this book, it's no secret that one of my greatest challenges in life has been growing into my self-love and confidence. So interesting reading this now, considering how much it's actually grown for me in the last several years. So it says, when I first moved to Los Angeles for college, I developed a pretty severe eating disorder. This is more common than you would imagine in men, yet it is rarely discussed. I even created a music video about it called Broken Mirrors. And so anybody who's seen that video, maybe I'll play it at the end of the session today so you can see it. Back then, I was trying to make myself perfect, to fit this impossible standard of beauty, thinking if I had 0% body fat, an 8-pack of abs, then I would finally be loved and validated. One of my lowest moments came when I was 19. I had just forced myself to throw up again, but this time it was different. I walked over to the sink, looked in the mirror, and all I saw was red, blood, gushing inside of my eyeball. This time I had gone too far. The pressure of throwing up and being bulimic had popped a blood vessel in my eye. I've come a long way from that day when I was 19, struggling with an eating disorder, pretending I had it all together, when really I was a mess inside. Healing from that level of self-hatred was one of the greatest challenges of my life, but it also provided some of my greatest gifts and lessons. In this chapter, and today in this session of the Kingdom, I'm passing those lessons on to you. I know what it feels like to hold up a facade of perfection. I know what it feels like to always worry about what other people think. I know what it's like to always be comparing yourself to others. I created the guided practices, mini practices, in this chapter to help you remember that you are worthy just as you are. So this is the opening of my book, or of this section of my chapter on self-love and confidence and Stay Woke. And you know, the reason why I wrote a chapter on this is I know it's so important to us, and I also know that I think that we all go through things that impact our confidence and our self-love in different ways. You know, for me, it showed up very physically, and shows up, in other ways as well. But for some of us, it's about our voice. For some of us, it's about, who we are inside. For some of us, it's about speaking up. For some of us, it's about relationships. For some of us, it's about how we grew up, or the amount of money that we have, or, all these different kinds of things that impact our ability to really just drop in and love ourselves and be very confident in who it is that we are, okay? And one of my, favorite teachings on confidence is confidence. People think you're supposed to have confidence first before you do something. But one of the biggest lessons that I learned on confidence, I learned this very early on from some great mentors, is that confidence doesn't actually come before you do things. That's like what you get before you do things is motivation and like the gall to do something, the commitment to do something. That you say, I'm going to do it even though I'm scared. So fear is what normally comes, right? When we're going to do something new. What comes on the other side of doing it is confidence. So we think we're going to get confidence before we take the action. But the confidence actually comes after. What comes before the action is often fear, intertwined with motivation and sometimes even a desire to step forward in a way that's new for us. And then on the other side of that is where confidence gets built. So this is an important piece for us to remember, okay? So I want to start here. I'll start with the first practice on forgiving yourself. And the reason I started this chapter in Stay Woke with forgiving yourself is because it's hard for us to move forward towards having self-love and confidence. So notice these are both on self-love and confidence. It's hard for us to have this if we're still beating ourselves up from things in the past. If we're still in regret or shaming or blaming ourselves for things in the past. It's hard to move forward if we're in the grip of the past. And so I start this chapter and this process with forgiving yourself because we've all messed up. We've all not shown up in some ways that we wished we would have shown up. And this is the power of what happens with forgiving yourself. So I'm going to start here. But before I do, I just realized that I forgot to do one thing that I always do here on the Kingdom, which is welcoming all of our first timers. So if this is your first time here at the Kingdom, if this is anyone's first time at the Kingdom, I want you to type the words "first time" into the chat box so that our amazing community can welcome you here. And so just type the words "first time" in. I'll do that while I'm taking a quick sip of water, and you'll see our amazing community welcome you here. And you are just welcome to this amazing, beautiful community of love. And we're grateful to have you here. And if you see the ones in the chat box, all the ones are kind of like the putting your prayer hands up, saying, "Amen, I'm with you, I got you, I love you," or you're just resonating. And that's one of the ways we use the chat box here, as well as putting in quotes. All right. There we go. I knew we had a first timer here. Hello, Reagan. Welcome. I felt it. All right. I think there's a couple others, but we'll see if they say hello. So here's one of my favorite parts of this lesson on forgiving yourself. It says, hello, Monkey O' Joy. Welcome. I'm grateful you're here too, watching the recordings. Welcome. So my favorite quote that I bolded out here on the bottom of the book is, if you constantly compare yourself to who you were in the past, it becomes impossible to make magic with the life you have right now. I want y'all to type that in. If you constantly compare yourself to who you were in the past, it becomes impossible to make magic with the life you have right now. Because you're not the version of you who you were in the past. And sometimes we do two different things. Sometimes we get mad at ourselves. Well, I'm going to actually just go into the teaching. Forgive yourself. for not living up to your own expectations. Forgive yourself for letting yourself go sometimes. Forgive yourself for falling off track. Forgive yourself for not always having the perfect body, for not always accomplishing everything on time, for not always listening to your intuition. Forgive yourself. Every time, I want you to listen to this part carefully. Every time you fall off track, you are just being polished and refined to become that much stronger, smarter, and wiser. Little Christina Aguilera fighter there. Let go of what was. Release your guilt. Forgive yourself. And then find your new center with compassion. Okay? So I want to guide you through a short practice right now, a short forgiveness practice. But before I do this practice, I want to give you a few prompts that I'm going to ask you all to type into the chat box so that when you come back from the practice, you can immediately go into these prompts. Okay? So here are the prompts I want you to type into the chat right now. Prompt 1. Okay, maybe Mary Teresa will help us. Type them in. What do you need to forgive yourself for? Prompt 2. Given the new perspective you have now, what do you want to change moving forward? And that could be, what do you want to change about your life or your vision moving forward? Okay. And number 3, what's the first next step that you can take as an action? What is the first next step you can take as an action? Y'all got that? So once we have all of those in the chat box, thank you, Mary Teresa, for always being our scribe here in the chat box. And Kalani, I see you here, and Cindy. Once we have all of these in, we're going to dive into our practice. So go ahead and place your hands over the center of your chest. Close your eyes. Take a full, deep breath in and a deep breath out. Again, a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And imagine that grounding cord sending you down to the center of the earth. If you need a new grounding cord, that's fine. Imagine the light coming in overhead. And take a full breath in and a full breath out. Hands are over your heart, right over the center of your chest. And I want you to call into your mind an area of your life, something in the past, or even that's happening in the present, that you need to forgive yourself for. Call it into your mind now. What do you need to forgive yourself for? And you can just call this situation forward and let any emotions that come up. Sometimes we put like a block right above our heart or around our heart to kind of hold whatever emotions around it come up down. And that creates a lot of stress and effort. See if you can just imagine even just opening up that part of your heart and just letting the emotions flow through all the way up. They just come up and out, up and out. Up and out. Like a fountain, the emotions just come up, they rise up all the way through your neck and your head and come up through the crown of the head and move through and out. You have the support of the earth and the sky, and your heart is open. Take a moment now and just feel whatever it is that you need to forgive yourself for. Just let the emotions flow, however they show up. And now, I want you to start repeating the words in your mind. Show me the lesson. Show me the lesson. Show me the lesson. Just repeat that in your mind. If you want to repeat it out loud, you can, or with a whisper, or in rhythm with your breath. Show me the lesson. Show me the lesson. Show me the lesson. Keep repeating it. And now, with your hands over your heart, imagine the lesson from this moment just coming and raining down on you, downloading itself into you. Even if you don't consciously know all the pieces, energetically allowing the lesson from your higher self to download into you. And then finally, ask yourself this question. What lesson was my higher self trying to learn at this time? What lesson was my higher self trying to learn at this time or through this situation? And then take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And when you're ready, open your eyes. And the invitation now is to take a moment and just take some notes for yourself. Take some notes for yourself. And the questions are in the chat box from earlier, so I don't want you to take time writing those questions down. You could just scroll up. Elka, Mary Teresa, Cindy, Kalani all wrote them in here for us. So did Diaris. And just take some notes on those 3 questions. Number 1, what do you need to forgive yourself for? Number 2, given the new perspective you have now, what do you want to change moving forward? And number 3, what is the first next step that you can take as an action? I'll give y'all just a couple moments to write now. And if you feel called to share the lesson and your action step, feel free to type it in the chat, but once you're done writing it for yourself. Last 30 seconds or so for you to take a few notes. You can always come back to this, but just take a few notes, and we're going to go to the next practice. I'd love to invite anybody who has anything to share to type anything into the chat box. Even if it's vulnerable, it helps a lot of people who are here know that they're not alone. So if there's anything you'd like to type in the chat, I welcome you to do that now. Any of your lessons, your whatever it might be for you, feel free to type that in. All right. The next practice that I'm leading us into as we kind of move forward on this ladder is on page 220. Okay, 220. And I see some of the lessons coming through, so I'm just blessing and sending love to all of you as you let your lessons come through. So I'm going to continue on page 220 for those of you who have the book. And this is a practice that's called Stop Being So Hard on Yourself. Right? Stop being so hard on yourself. And the practice for this, well, I'm just going to read the section to you here and stay woke. Okay? So it says, all, and I mean all, okay? All of our lives are a mess sometimes. Yes, even mine. You see the smile, the book, the podcast, the album, and the articles talking about my success. But what you don't see are the thousands of times I've been told no, only to get that one yes. You don't see me crumpled in tears on the floor from yet another lover who says that I chose work over the relationship, or you chose work over the relationship. You don't see me gripping my lower belly in the mirror, trying to hold back the echoes of my college eating disorder. So this is all, me. We all of us have highs and lows. We all find ourselves in unimaginable situations. We all feel lost, confused, and hopeless sometimes. Life can be messy. And I think more of us need to be honest about that. Social media and seeing other people's lives will have you believe that others are out here living these perfect, easy, lavish lives. But, and here's one of my favorite quotes that I first heard from Sheila Marie, you can't compare yourself to other people. You don't know what they sacrificed to get there. You can't compare yourself to other people. You don't know what they sacrificed to get there. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Having it all doesn't make you happy. Knowing your purpose doesn't make you happy. Success doesn't make you happy. Connection is what makes you happy. Connection to self, to others, and to something greater. So the next time you're feeling alone, depressed, sad, or like you don't have it all figured out, relax. If it's really for you, it will happen. You don't have to try so hard. You don't have to force it. And we're all just in this thing together. So we'll do a short practice here that will help us dive into this experience a little bit more deeply together. Okay, for just to dive in to this experience. So I'd like you again to place your hands over the center of your chest. Take a deep, full breath in and a deep breath out. Feel your grounding cords drop down, and we'll let the chat box calm down a little bit here just so we can drop the energy into ourselves even while we stay connected with one another. So you have your grounding cord, you have the energy from the sun bathing you with what you need. And the mantra we're going to use for this practice is, I trust, I let go. I trust, I let go. So start by taking a full deep breath in and a breath out. And with me to the count of 3, inhale for 1, 2, 3, hold for 1, 2, 3, exhale 1, 2, 3. Beautiful, let's do it again. Inhale 1, 2, 3, hold for 1, 2, 3, exhale 1, 2, 3. Last time, inhale 1, 2, 3, hold for 1, 2, 3, exhale 1, 2, and 3. Now just breathe normally and rest your awareness in the flow of your breath. And call into your mind any area of your life where you're being hard on yourself. And without steeping in it for too long, you can let it arise. You can let it arise. You don't have to hold it. You can open your heart and just let the feeling arise of how you're being hard on yourself. And then just tenderly, and you could even kind of rub your hand over your heart here. Rub your hands over your heart like you're just petting yourself, soothing yourself. And in your own tender way, tell yourself, say, I trust, I let go. I trust, I let go. I trust, I let go. And just repeat that in your mind a few times. And if you have a lot of areas of your life coming up at once right now, just pick one for this practice. Just pick one. And then just repeat to yourself, I trust, I let go, as you just kind of pat yourself and rub yourself just softly. I trust, I let go. And remember, trust that there is a power greater than you at work here. Surrender to it. Rest in it. You are exactly where you need to be, where you're supposed to be, even if you don't understand it right now. I trust, I let go. I trust, I let go. I trust, I let go. Go ahead and take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And when you're ready, I invite you to open your eyes. And what we'll do now is I will invite you to do a few incomplete sentences. And I'm going to do different ones than ones that are in the book. And you'll place your hands over your heart. You can close your eyes. And the invitation is that I'm going to offer up some incomplete sentences, kind of like Mad Libs, little sentence stems with a blank at the end. And what I actually want you to do in your own space where you are right now is you'll have your hands over your heart, you'll have your eyes closed if you're comfortable with that, and I'll say a sentence like, right now I feel, and I want you out loud, not writing, out loud, to fill in the blanks of these sentences, to just see what processes through you from this experience. So go ahead and place your hands over your heart. If you're comfortable closing your eyes, do that, please. If not, you can keep your eyes open, but just drop your gaze down towards your chest, towards your legs. And here are your sentences, and just fill them in out loud. You don't have to say the whole sentence, just say your part, what's in the blank. I say my part, you say your part. Okay, so first fill into this practice. Here's the first sentence. What I need to let go of is. Who I need to trust is. What I need to trust is. And finally, I believe in. I believe in. Beautiful. Let's do one last one, actually. I am. I am is your last prompt. And then just imagine that ray of the sun coming down, bathing you, soothing you, as you integrate the lessons. Okay, so feel free to type in the chat box your response to the I am, our very last prompt, I am. And feel free to type whatever your response was to that in the chat box. Okay. So we're going to do the last practice now. And I love this practice so much. This practice is on page 222. 222. And I love your I ams here. I am worthy, Mary Teresa. Kalani, I am healing completely. Lori, I am brilliant. Diaris, I am capable. Elka, I feel held and healed. Mom, I am worth it. Cheryl, I am worthy. Cindy, I am connected to my spirit guides. Donna Mae, Donna Mae, I am ready. Arietta, I am secure. Monkey O'Joy, I am free. Kate White, I am beautiful. Alan, I am connected. I am we. Daphne, I am learning. Beautiful, Lori. Raylene, I am a ray of light. Callie, I am healing, growing, and learning about myself. Beautiful. Yes, MT, it is my number 222. So this is a beautiful practice that I love. And this practice was inspired by a student of mine, a friend of mine named Jay Cambridge, who's a founder of an organization called Outside the Box. And Alonso, I see you here. I am necessary. I love that. I love that. I don't know that I've ever heard anybody do that one. I love that, Alonso. So, and all of you are necessary, you know? It's a really beautiful one, Alonso. Andrea, I am here. And we're so grateful to have you here at the Kingdom Live today. Welcome to being here live. So, the last practice is on page 222. All right? And I'll just read it to you. So I started the practice here by reading or writing a love letter to my younger self. And it says, if I could write a love letter to my younger self, knowing everything I know now, it would say something like this. Dear beautiful Justin, embrace your weirdness, baby. Because the things that make you different are the things that make you fucking magical. All the things you're ashamed of are the very things that you're going to be celebrated for when you get older. Sure, your voice is a little high and squeaky, but that voice is going to inspire millions. And yes, you got a little sugar in your tank, but boy, you can work a stage like no other. So stop trying to fit in. The sooner you come to love and accept your random quirks, the sooner your life will transform into something more magical than you could have ever dreamed of. I love you. There's a little PS line here, but I'm going to skip it. So, yeah, let's just do the practice. So, I want to invite you into a practice that's a little bit different than what I did here in the book, at least initially. And this is a really special practice, okay? And yeah, I know my mom loves that letter to myself. So this is a really special practice. So let's just actually dive right into it. Go ahead and place your hands over the center of your chest and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. And we're going to do 4 counts of the breath now. So take a breath out. And with me to the count of 4, inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it out for 1, 2, 3. Again, inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it out for 1, 2, 3. Last time. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it out for 1, 2, 3. Release. Just breathe normally now. Feel yourself connected into your grounding cord. Down to the center of the earth. Down, down, down. All the way to the center of the earth. Feel your connection to the ray of light above your head, pulling the energy down over your body, everything that you need. Even if you want to add something to it, just feel the energy, this beautiful light golden light or any color you need shimmering over your whole body, inside out, your emotions and all. And just repeat these words to yourself. Be you. Be true. That's beautiful. Be you. Be true. That's beautiful. Be you. Be true. That's beautiful. And just keep repeating that in your mind a few times, and you might now, as you say these words or repeat these words, imagine in your mind a younger version of yourself, a childhood version of yourself. And imagine saying these words to them. Be you. Be true. That's beautiful. Be you. Be true. That's beautiful. Be you. Be true. That's beautiful. Repeat it a few times. To a child version of yourself at any age, or any ages, it's multiple. And take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And right away, without skipping a beat, open your eyes and begin to write a letter to the child you. A love letter to the child you. Start writing now. You can write on your phone. If you have a piece of paper and a pen, that's also great. Right away. Don't go into the chat. Don't do anything. Just start writing. I'm going to give you a full 5 minutes. I'm going to give you a full 5 minutes, which we normally don't do here on the Kingdom, but I can feel the energy here. So I'm going to come in with just some little words of inspiration. You have a full 5 minutes to write a letter, a love letter, short love letter, or long if you have time, to the childhood you. Go ahead. 5 minutes. You got this. You're about halfway through now, so another 2.5 minutes or so. And just let it pour from your heart. Whatever you write is enough. Last 1 minute. Last 1 minute. Last 30 seconds or so here. Go ahead and start wrapping up. And just stop where you are, knowing you can always come back to this. Place your hands over the center of your chest. Take a deep, full breath in and a deep breath out. Go ahead, stop. I know y'all feel like, I can't see you. Like I can't see you, but just take a deep breath in. Just pause for a moment because we want to let it integrate in this collective space. So it's important that we stop together. And take a breath out. And one more time, a deep, full breath in. And a deep breath out. And again, place your hands over the center of your chest, just over your heart. And ask yourself, from that practice, from the one that we just did, where you wrote that letter, just ask yourself, what did my higher self take away from that experience? What did I learn? What did I integrate? Because that younger self is inside of you. And so you're writing that letter to your younger self, but you're also integrating and learning a lesson inside of yourself. All of you, from all parts of infinity, the future you, all of you, gets the power of that lesson. So you just ask yourself, what did my higher self learn from that experience? What did I integrate? And then open your eyes and type that into the chat box. And that will be the way that we close out today's session. So I'm looking forward to seeing all of your responses here in the chat. And this is the power of learning self-love and confidence. And obviously, for those of you who want to do more, there's about, I think, 8 or 9 more practices. Several more practices inside of Stay Woke in chapter 13 that I invite you all to dive into, including a practice called I Am Beyonce, which is a really fun practice as well. But I'm not going to do that today because of copyright things. So as you integrate these beautiful lessons, this is an opportunity for us to do the deep healing work that allows us to get out of our own way so we can take the actions that we need to take, okay, for confidence to build. Because the confidence itself doesn't just, it does build by this inner work, but it builds most specifically through action. And this is the deeper work that allows us to fully unlock the parts of ourselves where our confidence is hidden, where our self-love is hidden. And it's right there inside of you. And you got to experience loving yourself just now by first forgiving yourself all the way to writing this letter. And so I want to end with a song that I think is perfect for this moment. And then when I come back, I want you all to stay because I have a few exciting announcements, and then we will end. But I want you to let this music go, this song go, where words can't, where the words don't. Right into all those crevices where you need healing. This is I Am Enough.
Little boy, don't cry. You've been in pain. Enough, enough, enough. Little girl, don't fight. You're finally safe. Enough, enough. One day I'll look into your eyes, show you you don't need to hide behind disguise. Spread your wings, you're terrified. Don't be afraid, you're born to fly. I'm by your side. I am enough. I am golden, baby. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. I am golden, baby. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. I am golden, baby. I am enough. I am enough. Little girl, it's alright. You've taken the blame. Enough. Little boy, don't hide. You've been ashamed. Enough. One day I'll look into your eyes, show you you don't need to hide behind disguise. Spread your wings, you're terrified. Don't be afraid, you're born to fly. I'm by your side. I am enough. I am golden, baby. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. I am golden, baby. I am enough. I am enough.
This is your moment, baby. This is your time. Don't hold back anymore. I'm ready for you to let go. I'm ready for you to stand up. If you're ready to stand up, if you're ready to say yes to your dream, if you're ready to say yes to what you were put on this earth to do, I want you to put your hands up and say, yes, let's go.
I am enough. I am golden, baby. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. I am golden, baby. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. You are enough. You are golden, baby. You are enough. You are enough. I am enough. I am golden, baby. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough.
I am enough. You are enough. We are enough. And we rise together. We rise together. Everybody, what a gift it is to be together in this time and in this space for the power of self-love and confidence. And I just want to take a moment while you're here and now. Well, first, actually, before I do this, just take a moment and let all of this land in your heart. Let all of it land in your heart. Let all of it land in your heart. And if you could think of one golden nugget, one key takeaway that you want to take away from this session, what would this key takeaway be? What is your one golden nugget from this whole session? And once you have that golden nugget, repeat it in your mind a few times. And I invite you to remember to read that letter to yourself. To read that letter that you wrote to yourself, okay? And this is a powerful practice that we can do. And even though you think you're reading it to a childhood version of you, read it from the future to the you that you are now. Because in the future, you now are a younger version of you. And so you read it from the future you to the you now, or from even just, if that's complicated to you, just you to the you now. And go ahead and type your golden nuggets into the chat box. And as you do that, yes, you are, Kristen. As you do that, I am going to make a few announcements, all right? So every Wednesday night, except for this Wednesday, because we have a special concert going on. The World Peace Concert is happening on Wednesday night. I'll try to find a link to that. If anybody has it, can you put it in the chat box? Otherwise, I'll try to find a link to that to put in the chat box for you all. But typically, every Wednesday night, we have Soul Study. And Soul Study is where we take the lessons from the kingdom. We're on Zoom, and Trey, who leads Soul Study, helps guide us into these teachings in a deeper way in our own lives, and we get to discuss and have conversation about them. So if you want to be a part of Soul Study, they're on Wednesday evenings. Just go to justinmichaelwilliams.com/soul-study. And if you go to that site, you can sign up and join us for our Wednesday night sessions where we really get to be inside of community. In terms of in-person events, we have 2 in-person events that are scheduled for this year, in the rest of this year, and that is Esalen. I'm teaching a special New Year's workshop at Esalen just before New Year's. It's before Christmas, actually, December, I think, I can't remember the date, it's 15th or something like that. If you go to esalen.org, there's still some rooms available for you to sign up. This one is filling up pretty quickly, so if you're thinking of coming, I would go there. And we actually still have a couple rooms available for Bali. And so if you're interested in coming to Bali with us in just about 4 weeks, we will literally be in Bali 4 weeks from now, and so many of you are going to be there. Mary Teresa is going to be there, Raylene, my mom. I mean, so many. I could just name almost all of you in the chat box are going to be in Bali. Alonzo. So if you go to justbebali.com, you can see the rooms that are available, but we actually have a few of our cheaper room types available still from people who upgraded. And so if you're interested in coming, you actually just want to email, somebody type this email in the chat box for me, retreats@justinmichaelwilliams.com. That's retreats@justinmichaelwilliams.com. And that will, we can actually just one-on-one talk to you. Our retreat leader, Kate, will get you set up with one of our cheaper rooms that we're not advertising on the website that's available. It's the lowest cost one. And then finally, last but not least, the Kingdom Book Club is running right now. That is run by Mariana. And Mariana has put together this Kingdom Fan Book Club, which is just such a gift. And the community comes together and is doing amazing work. And so if you want to join the Kingdom Book Club, Mariana is going to put her email address in the chat, and you just email her and she'll get you all the info that you need about joining the Kingdom Book Club. Okay? So those are all the announcements that I have for you. And I'm so grateful and so thankful to each of you for joining this incredible community that we are building together. I love you all so much, and we rise together. You are enough. We rise together. Let's end with our closing blessing. Hands over the center of your chest. Take a deep breath in and out. God, Spirit, Universe, all that is, all that ever has been, and all that ever will be, we thank you. Thank you for bringing this community together from all over the world. Thank you for the family that we are building here. We are so grateful. So it is. Ashe, Aho, Salam, Amen, Satnam, Awen, Om. Thank you. I think I skipped Shalom. All the Ahs. We are here. Thank you, Spirit. So it is. Thank you, Great Spirit. All right, I love you all. We rise together. This is the kingdom. And I will see you right here in this very special place the next time we are together. Bye for now, everybody.